What's going on, guys? My name is Mike, and I'm going to go over the top 5 things I like about my car. I've seen these videos go around a lot, so I figured might as well make one. My car's not exactly special. It's a 2000 BMW 323 Ci, so it's not an exotic car. It's not really a sports car. It's just a normal car, but I figured it might be kind of interesting. So number 1 thing I like most about my car is the connection to the road. Now, before I get into it, I'm going to sort of talk about the cars I used to own. So what I've been coming from a daily. My past 2 cars were Subarus. My first car was a 1999 Subaru Impreza Outback. And, I was like in the stage of just upgrading things. So I put lowering springs on it, bigger sway bars. Did some like lighting things to it, like air intake, things that didn't really affect much. But I kind of made it mine. I'll insert a picture for you here. And that was a fun car. 5-speed manual, engine in the front, boxer engine and all-wheel drive. And then my next car was a 1998 Subaru Forester. I didn't do anything to that. I sold my Impreza, and then I just needed a car, so I bought that. And then I bought this, and by far, this is the best driving experience I could ask for the money. The connection between the drivetrain and me is awesome. It feels like all of the moving parts are working together perfectly, and you can really tell when you're in the driver's seat. Number 2 is the size of this car. I think the size of this car is ideal for me. And what makes that ideal? Well, it's big enough that I can fit skis inside, but it's small enough that it's not a pain doing everything else. I don't really like lugging a car around. So if I'm in a parking lot, I want to be able to fit into even a small parking spot if I have to, or if I'm around town, parallel parking or anything. I just don't like a big car. And I just like the environment inside to be pretty small, but not super compact. And I think the E46, this body style, does a really good job with that. Number 3 is how well this car, for the most part, is holding up since it's a 2000. So that means it was probably built around 17 years ago. Probably, came out 1999 for a model 2000 car. And it still looks pretty fresh. Like if you are, next to newer cars, it doesn't look like it's a really old car. And it looks like it will hold its value well. But if you know anything about the market, that's just not the case. These are pretty cheap, and I'll get into that probably in another video. Mostly do the repairs and maintenance costs, but beside the fact, it's held up pretty well. The interior is okay. You can see up here, like the lining kind of comes off a little bit, kind of a pain, and some stitching here and there. But overall, like what you get for a car being so old is really impressive. And this is relative old. I mean, I know this is not an old car, but it's not a new car either. Number 4, this one kind of relates to number 1, but I think it's different enough that I can mention it in number 4. It actually could bump up in the list, but it's rear-wheel drive. As I mentioned earlier, my first 2 cars were all-wheel drive, but I think rear-wheel drive is where it's at. In my head, I always think, well, in the winter, I should probably have all-wheel drive in case I'm stopped at the bottom of a hill, or I'm in a sticky situation, or I don't want to dig my car out in the morning. But in the end, I think I have so much more fun in this car than I had in my past 2 cars. So thumbs up for rear-wheel drive and a 5-speed. Number 5 would be BMW ownership. Now there's a pro to BMW ownership and there is a con. I'll go over the pro right now. The pro is knowing the history of BMW and what the potential is for a BMW. What I mean by that is, the E30 M3, the E36 M3, the E46 M3, and beyond the sports heritage in the BMW is really neat for me to see this badge here when I'm driving. So although this is not an M3, it's still neat to know that, you know, the same engineers, group of engineers that sort of came up with these body styles and this system also, you know, did work with the M3, the M series cars, and that's really cool. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this one. So that's a good stopping point for this video. I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.